2019 Toyota CHR front brakes tutorial. The wheel is a 21 millimeter. Now these caliper bolts are 13 millimeters. Most Toyotas are 14, but on this particular Toyota they're 13. So get yourself a 13 millimeter socket right here, and make sure the car is supported safely while you work on it. These caliper bolts tend to spin these inner little square nuts when you go to loosen these, so you have to hold those inner square nuts with some pliers, and once you hold those, you kind of hold them like this, and then you go ahead and loosen the bolt on the back. I went ahead and did it off camera, and then just go ahead and get these out. Now these bolts have Loctite on them, so that means that they're that blue stuff is Loctite, and that means that it just kind of holds them in there, and it takes longer to unthread them. I don't really know why these particular ones are like this. Most Toyotas are not, but they are. So set those aside, save them. Then you can wiggle this and pull it off. You should be able to just kind of wiggle it off. Gently set it over the steering knuckle, like so, and that'll support this brake line. And then we could get these pads out. Now these pads have these little springs on the sides, and the inner pad has this big sensor, the squealer sensor. And then here's these little pads. Your new pad should come with all this on the pad itself. Go ahead and get this one out. And as you can see, like up close, that's how they're supposed to look when they go in. I'll have another close-up towards the end of the video. So right now we're just gonna get these out like that. And then I'm machining my rotors, so I'm going to remove this caliper bracket just so I can machine my rotors. But if you're just doing pads, then you could just skip this part and put your pads in. But if you want to take this caliper bracket off, there's two 17 millimeter bolts, and go ahead and you can get a 17 millimeter wrench. They're going to be a little tighter than the caliper bolts were. I'm in a shop, so I just use my air gun to take them off. But once you get these out, you want to save them and set them aside. Just go ahead and do this, and I'll put the torque specs in the description box and everything. So we'll get this caliper bracket off, and then if your rotor's stubborn and it's stuck, you could put a bolt through these threads right here on the front of the rotor. That's what they're there for. So you could put a bolt through it and it'll push it off the hub, you know, if it's like rusted on or something. But mine just came right off. I would imagine yours is, but if you're in the East Coast or the Midwest, you might have kind of be stuck on there. All right, but I got this off, so I'm gonna go ahead and machine my rotor. And if you're putting a new rotor on, then this is the time you can just put it on. I was machining mine with this on the car brake lathe. While that's going, I'm gonna look at my new pads here. Like I said, I got Toyota pads. These come with everything installed on them. I would imagine that aftermarket would as well, because these are some obscure type of clips and a sensor. So my Toyota factory came with new hardware and new caliper bolts as well. With new caliper bolts with the lock seal on them. So I mean, I'll use them. They gave them to me, so I'm going to use them. But your aftermarket stuff might not come with that extra stuff. You can just clean the hardware if you want with a little wire brush, the old hardware that's on there. Just make sure you have all your hardware. Make sure you didn't drop any. These pins come out. The one with the black grommet is the bottom one. You could just put some brake lube on these and then put them back in the bracket. All right. So I lubed these both, and then I put them back in. I cleaned the hardware. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this back on. All right, and then get my 17 millimeter bolts in right here and right here. Just get these on. And again, I'll put the torque specs in the description box. I torqued those off screen. Now our piston, I need to push this caliper piston in. Use a tool to do it. There's many ways to do it. You can look on Google if you don't have a tool. I have this special brake tool. You could buy these, they're like 35 bucks. And your local auto parts store will probably have some sort of tool to push in the caliper on the caliper piston. Once that's in, we'll have enough room for it to fit over the new brake pads, as you see here. And you could put a tad bit of brake lube on the ends of the pads just so they slide in better if you'd like. So I'm gonna go and put this in. I'm gonna try to get a close-up for you guys. This is how it's supposed to look. So it's kind of like an odd Looney Tunes design, but those springs are supposed to go in the little rectangle little channels there. This one with the sensor, I'm gonna put it in the back with the sensor on top. I'm doing that because that's how it came, and I don't know for sure if it's supposed to go on the bottom, but I'm assuming it's supposed to go like this, because the ones I took off were like that, and this car doesn't have that many miles on it. So if you know anything in the comments about it, you could put it in the comments. Put your caliper back on. Make sure your brake line's not twisted up. I see people make that mistake all the time. We'll go ahead and get these in. Again, with these bolts with the Loctite on, you're going to have to probably hold the inside little square nut while you twist that in. So just get those nice and tight. And once you get that tight, that's pretty much it, guys. So hopefully this video helped you out. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. Any additional information in the comments is appreciated. I will see you next video.